One of the biggest takeaways of the past really few weeks, you could go back a few years, is that we're living in these unprecedented times. And we thought this was going to be a 2020 rematch. Obviously, with this shakeup, that has blown this election wide open. There's a lot of what we don't know. What do you think the biggest takeaway is here? What are you looking out for next?
Well, I think how is this campaign, once the Democrats decide who they're going to run, how is this campaign going to be conducted? And the Democrats are going to want to drag it down because they are vulnerable on many issues. You can't walk away from what's happened to the border. You can't walk away from the fact that prices are higher. Yeah, the economy's growing. The best in the world? Yeah, because the world stinks right now in terms of overall growth. So and most people don't feel the country is going in the right direction. And traditionally, if people don't feel the country is going in the right direction, the party in power loses.
And something that Democrats...
And by the way, one of the things that could happen, you may get a foreign crisis. Iran may decide to do something crazy. You may get a war, which is going to come, it's just a matter of time, in northern Israel, southern Lebanon, against Hezbollah. That's going to be very hard to avoid, and that could blow up in the next few months. So there'll be a crisis there, and that then gets again to the question, is Joe Biden up to the job?
And how much will that impact Vice President Kamala Harris should an international crisis rise up?
I think they will give her prominence in what they call the Situation Room. They'll try to have Biden there looking like he's in charge and restrict the pictures that can be taken. And she'll be seen as asking the questions. They'll stage it. They'll know in advance what they're going to do, but they will stage manage a Situation Room, coping with the crisis and showing her being decisive, crisis manager. Whatever you thought about her as vice president, as a president, she can rise to the occasion. So, but the question is, what are they actually going to do about it? Because the team he has in place now, that Biden has in place now, has botched just about everything. Their Iran policy. Oh, we can appease Iran. Well, we saw how that turned out. His national security advisor had a magazine article come out just before October 7th saying things are now quiet in the Middle East. Whoa. And China, are they calming down? Well, I had to ask the Philippine fishermen when China decides they're not allowed to fish in international waters.
Would you say, or would you think, that a Kamala Harris presidency is essentially a Biden presidency 2.0 with all of this administration and the cabinet in place? Or do we not know that yet?
Well, I think given her record in the past, given what happened in this administration, you would say it is 2.0. And one of the things that she's going to have to demonstrate, I think, to appeal to independents and to people in swing states, that there's more to her. She just isn't a California lefty. That she's got to demonstrate, how do you sort of separate yourself from what Biden did, and you're going to have something different in the future without looking like you're being disloyal. And I'm old enough to remember 1968 when Lyndon Johnson, the president, withdrew. His vice president got the nomination, Hubert Humphrey, and he gave a very skillful speech finally at the end of September where people could nuance and say he's going to have a different Vietnam War policy than the incumbent. And that's when his campaign, which looks hopeless, turned around and he came within an eyelash of winning the presidency. So does she have those skills, those political skills, to show people it's not just going to be a carbon copy, but they're going to be positive things and pleasantly surprising things that might come if she wins?